This is one of the wilder stories I've seen this year. It almost sounds made up, like a fake headline in GTA Online or something. It sounds AI generated by ChatGPT. It's hard to believe this is real. A YouTube couple has now just been sentenced and will receive prison time, at least for the husband, for a series of videos where they showcased blatant insurance fraud. Multiple videos of blatant insurance fraud. And the word multiple is doing so much heavy lifting here, it's a sin. Like, that is an understatement. Over 160 videos allegedly showcasing insurance fraud attempts or collisions caused by the YouTube couple in order to get money from their insurance. Also, road rage as well as provoking road rage. Just like this absolute massive pile of horrible shit they were doing in their vehicle in order to get money from insurance. Everyone hates scammers, but the roller coaster doesn't stop there. It doesn't matter if you've already puked your guts out, here comes the encore. They're also facing, well, and have been sentenced for child abuse because they were intentionally causing these accidents with their kid in the car for some of them. And they would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling internet points. This is the most on-brand shit for the modern landscape of brain rot, clout goblin mentality. The father couldn't keep his hand out of the cookie jar of internet clout, so he started posting these dash cams of the collisions and insurance fraud attempts on his YouTube channel, and then shamelessly went to TikTok to accuse some of the other drivers that he got into the collisions with, that he himself caused, of being insurance scammers.
What you see here, this is Jeremy Perales. He's about to set me up for an insurance scam. He's about to set up an accident. He recognized me from Facebook.
Unhinged lunatic behavior right here, and then proudly posted on his own TikTok page. So what happened is, he had suddenly started to brake, and the driver behind him had to cross the double yellow line to get around him to avoid a rear-end collision, and then Christopher turns into him in order to force the accident. And the driver was initially found to be, I believe, like 90% at fault because he crossed the double yellow line. Christopher was actually quite gifted, an idiot savant when it came to insurance fraud.
He's doing, and he knows how to not be at fault for him.
It was last April. Jeremy Perales says his insurance premium shot up after this accident in Yucaipa. But was it really an accident?
To think, to be able to do this to a person, set them up for an accident?
I was stopped and then he hit me.
Jeremy says his insurance deemed it 90% his fault because he crossed into the other lane. But it isn't the first so-called accident Phelps had been in.
Just the way Christopher Phelps speaks is off-putting. He sounds straight out of Dr. Evil's lair. He just sounds menacing and, like, genuinely unhinged. And then he's talking about how, like, it's unspeakable how this man could try and set up an accident all because he recognized me from Facebook. Holy shit, that is deranged. You think he recognized you from Facebook and then tried to set up this accident? That doesn't even make sense. Obviously, Christopher doesn't believe that. His whole MO was insurance fraud in order to collect on the insurance paycheck. But Jesus, it's just so weird to listen to him speak. He just gathered mountains upon mountains of evidence against himself and posted it online. And somehow investigators stumbled upon this cornucopia of evidence that the husband, Christopher Phelps, was gathering of their insurance fraud and child endangerment. Like, Christopher ended up being his own worst enemy. He was like, the Zodiac killer, leaving all these clues, all these breadcrumbs for investigators to somehow find. And I have no idea how they found his channels, because he was getting like 50 or 60 views per video. I don't know how the fuck they ended up there. You would have been more likely to end up in Narnia than on his channel. But Jesus Christ, they must have had L from Death Note on the case, because they found all of it, and they really cannonballed into the rabbit hole. Investigators found at least 23 collisions, allegedly documented by Phelps, which were linked to at least 17 insurance claims. Christopher is receiving 3 years in the slammer, and his wife is getting only a little bit of time in jail and then 3 years of supervised probation. Now, I'd like to show you a couple more videos here from the archive of Christopher Phelps and his insurance fraud journey. I have to mute the first part of the video here because this goober was playing DMCA copyright music. I'll just explain what he's saying. He's saying that the driver that he's pointing to is mad, because Christopher passed him. Christopher's got some steam coming out of his ears for this video because he was actually found at fault by the officers on the scene for abruptly stopping, which causes this rear-end collision. But Christopher's arguing that the guy flipped him off, which the guy does admit to, and that because he was mad, when he stopped for a utility vehicle, the guy intentionally rear-ended him.
And just to show you that utility truck, here's the guy that hit me right there. That is the utility truck that was turning left onto my street. I was trying to stop for him and give him way to go down this way, and unfortunately, this guy was mad because I passed him.
What a bunch of mumbo jumbo, a load of hooey here. He's claiming that, oh, this is his fault, he was so mad, real mad goofball, and he rear-ended innocent old me who was just stopping for this utility vehicle over here. When the video immediately betrays that, what are you talking about? You stopped abruptly, you brake-checked this man way back where those two trucks were parked, and then your evidence that you were actually stopping for a utility vehicle turning left is like significantly further along than where you actually stopped. Unless you were giving this man like 700 feet worth of turning radius room, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's not what happened. That's a blatant fucking lie. And here's two rapid-fire insurance fraud attempts from old Christopher and his wife. I don't know if their kid's in the car for these, but probably is, considering they did that quite a few times.
And we're going to do this. Find out if they're going to conspire with the sheriff, or if they're going to cooperate. We'll see.
This is the last TikTok video that Christopher posted, him as a warrior about to go to battle for his case, fighting for justice, and signs off with, we're gonna find out if they're gonna conspire with the sheriff or cooperate. That is so fucking weird. Such a weirdo, and such a bad fucking person. Him and his wife. To not only be insurance fraud scammers, but to put your life, the life of the drivers on the road, and the life of your child all on the line for a couple doubloons from insurance is ridiculous. That is so fucked up and disgusting. A scam that endangers your life, the other drivers' lives, and the life of your kid that you're putting in these situations. I think 3 years was way too light of a sentence for this guy, and his wife got off way too fucking easy here. I don't understand how they got such light sentencing for this shit. They even did get assault with the deadly weapon charges because they were using their car as a fucking weapon. They were just hitting other drivers on the road to try and squeeze some coins out of insurance claims. They were more than willing to not only endanger themselves, but everyone else, including their kid. Every day was bring your child to work day, basically, so they'd fucking strap their kid into the back seat and just blast into another vehicle to try and file another insurance claim. And if they unsuccessfully caused an accident, they'd then try and make a road rage incident out of it. It's crazy how little they got punished for it, relatively speaking. I think the sentencing is way too lenient on how often they were doing it. This is very clearly premeditated, and it comes at a high price to everyone around them. This could have been a lot worse. There could have been deaths. And even in its current state, many of the other drivers, they had insurance premiums be hiked up as a result of this because some of them were found at fault for the shit that Christopher Phelps and his wife were doing. The whole thing is just so fucking horrible, and I'm really pretty upset that they get off so easily from it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I found it so fascinating. I learned about it from Otozi, who recently made a video covering it as well. It's so degenerate. It's so fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, just wanted to talk about it. That's it. See ya.